You're listening to The Metal Lens. Life, the universe, and everything from a metal point of view.
And we're on.
We're
back.
on. We're in like Flint.
Yeah. So it's been fucking hot. It's probably been an understatement. And I know everyone else has been hot too, but it's not like down here.
No, it isn't.
Heat index has been like 110, 112.
It's not good.
Fucking the dog days of summer are here.
Yeah.
And you pretty much live every day with rotten fucking swamp crotch, and by 8:30 in the morning, if you're outside, you're fucking. I actually got in a little trouble last weekend, Saturday. I had to try and attempt to cut the grass at around 1 o'clock, which is not a good idea, but it was the only time I really had to do it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to change the lawnmower blades and all that stuff, and do a few little things, but by the time I actually got all that stuff back together, I was in a bind, son. I was in a fucking bind.
A bind, eh?
Yeah, I had to come in here. I had jeans. I came in here and took my jeans off.
Yeah.
And kind of like stripped down in the air condition, and I was in a fucking bind.
I've been there, man.
Heat stroke was coming soon.
Dude.
So,
I was like that last year.
You gotta be careful.
I was like that last year when I was putting that fire pit together. On I swear to God, it was like the hottest weekend. What could have been the hottest day of the hottest weekend of the year, 2018.
Yeah, so let's build a fire pit, right?
Build a fire pit. One day. This will be put to good use.
So you see where this is going. When it comes to extreme heat, be smart. Make good decisions.
Look, y'all, hydrate. All right.
And that was the thing, because I hydrated really well. Or at least I thought I did. But it's see what happens when the humidity is like 95 fucking percent. The way the human body cools is you sweat, and the evaporative effect of the sweat evaporating off your skin makes you feel cool.
Right.
Well, when the air surrounding you is just as wet or wetter than your skin, that cooling effect doesn't happen, and you overheat very quickly.
Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, hydration can only do so much.
I just snuck that one in there.
Thank you. Hydration only does so much because hydration helps make sure that your body can regulate its temperature correctly. But the human body can only regulate itself so much.
Yeah.
You can't regulate yourself on the surface of the sun, and it was just shitty. I hear you.
Okay, so,
all right.
Let's get started.
All right, I got some news. You got some news. What do you want to do?
Okay, well, I got something pulled up here, which I thought was really fucking interesting.
I know.
These are the fucking the moss piglets. And I know everybody's going, what? And the fuck is a moss piglet?
Moss piglets.
Well, it's a horrible looking little creature. They're little microscopic kind of things.
Yeah.
And
tardigrades. I think
they're little organisms that they plan on bringing to the moon. Currently at work, we built the first shuttle. I don't even forget what the fuck they call it. And they're building the second one, and they're under contract. Boeing's under contract for 2 of them.
Boeing.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, the first one is going to be unmanned, and the second one is going to be manned.
Okay.
Well, at least that's what their plan is.
Huh. Wait. An unmanned craft.
Yeah.
Launching from Earth. No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. And Northrop Grumman is working on a couple of satellites too that they're gonna shoot out there, but they do that shit all the time.
All
right. And I guess with this one, they're gonna. I don't remember exactly what the mission is, but they're gonna send some of these organisms. I mean, they've done that before with DNA and different shit, but these little moss piglet things are they're living organisms, and they're very hardy.
Yes.
Apparently, if there was something that would ever live through a nuclear holocaust, it would be these things. Mm-hmm. They're pretty sure that I forget how long they said they've actually been on the Earth.
I would venture to guess quite a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can survive in practically any planetary cataclysm. They can survive in the vacuum of space. They can survive radiation. 30 million years.
Jesus.
Yeah, 30 million years.
Well, anything that can survive a cataclysm.
Yeah,
it's got some staying power.
Extremely cold temperatures, extremely hot temperatures.
Dude, they freeze and then they just thaw out and then boop, boop. And I'll go ahead and put a picture of them. You can go ahead and look at that weird looking little thing.
Yeah, it's like yeah,
it's like a blind
pudgy
rat,
a pudgy little like mole.
Yeah,
kind of with just like a little asshole for a mouth.
Just kind of plodding through life unaware of its surroundings, but you just can't kill it.
Hard
to kill anyway.
Tardigrades is what they're actually called.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we're gonna. I don't know if we plan on just keeping them there for whatever, or if we're just gonna let them roam around and see what they do on the moon, or what their actual real plans are with them. But they're gonna go to the moon.
Well, my understanding is that they're already on Mars because we spilled them.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a Japanese mission that
sure they did.
Dude,
we fool you again. It was an accident.
You remember? What was it? Fukuyama? What was that accident? That nuclear accident that happened a few years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so sorry.
No, that was some. I mean, I think it was an earthquake, is what it was,
yeah.
and then
tsunami and all that shit.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So it was like a perfect.
No, that place is fucked up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a little small Chernobyl.
Yeah. So, but even before all that happened, I remember hearing, this is like in the mid 2000s ish. Maybe I could verify the story, but like they were kind of experimenting with. They're doing all kinds of experimental shit over there, and it occurred to me, like, you would think, like, with their rich history of monster movies and Godzilla and stuff like that, you would think they would maybe shy away from the whole experimenting with nature and shit,
Yeah, they're funny little people.
I think they fucking just spliced. It's either China or Japan. Either way, it's fucked. I think they actually just they're actively working on creating a hybrid, combining human genes.
Yeah, well, what it is they. I mean, a lot of say whoever can say what they want, but that happens. But what happened in Japan just recently? I know what you're talking about. What they did is they expanded the timeline, which gave them more flexibility to where they can, like, splicing the human genome with different things.
Yeah.
Well, they can germinate that for a longer period of time now to progress to see what happens. Before it was just, okay, well, this, It took the DNA and it split into two. Okay, well, that's as far as you can go. Mm-hmm. Well, now they expanded the timeline of how long they can do it now. The regulations.
You knew this shit. Well, you called this shit was going to... You said it was going to happen 20 years ago. You saw this happening, man.
We were going back to the dolly with the sheep thing. It just blew my fucking mind to pieces.
Yeah. All right, man. So...
the other thing I have...
Yeah.
And this one, I know I've shared this with you and some other people. The City Killer.
Oh, yes.
What was it? CPOK 2019 or whatever was an asteroid that no big deal. It just flew 45,000 miles from the Earth, which, okay, to put that in a little perspective, 45,000 miles is a pretty far distance, right? Well, the moon is 238,900 miles away. And you could see it. It's right there, right? Well, so which pretty much means this asteroid flew in between us and the moon, way closer to us than the moon.
Yes.
And we didn't even see it.
Yeah.
We didn't even know it was coming.
See it coming.
And they claim because it came from the direction of the sun, whatever that's supposed to mean. But NASA pretty much it's like, yeah, we didn't really see this one coming. And CBS, I believe it was, CBS News actually kind of broke this. And it really has the best, we can maybe give a link to that if I get it, if I can remember.
All right.
I'll put a little note here for it. They give a pretty good. It's really interesting to watch, and it really puts it in perspective. It's a simulated map of the orbits of the time when it happened, and you can see like here comes the Earth, and like the asteroids were out here, and here comes the Earth, and here comes the asteroid, and then it gives a nice little close up, and then it's just like, yeah, it's like, wow. That was fucking close. And they dubbed it the City Killer because it was, I forget the size. They didn't really go into exactly how big it was, but basically the impact would have been 30 times the Hiroshima bomb, and it would have leveled like Los Angeles or New York, like a big major city. It just would have completely leveled it.
Yeah.
That's why they called it the City Killer. But check out that little animation of it. Of what actually happened. It's once you get the close up and you can see the moon orbiting the Earth, and here it comes, and then here comes that asteroid, just like, yeah. It was fucking 45,000 miles was fucking close. A little too close for me to not see it coming.
Closer than 238,900 miles.
Yeah, which is the moon.
The moon.
Which is, for celestial bodies, that's the closest thing to us, right? Well, this thing.
Yeah.
It was a little close.
I just did the numbers, and 4,000 some odd miles is far less distance than 238,000.
Yeah, it is. It was. Watch that animation. It's
okay, I'll see
really
if I
cool.
can pull that animation up and stick it onto this video here. All right, metal news. News. I love this. Metallica jigsaw puzzles available in September.
I did see this, yeah.
So,
and that's kind of we like to do puzzles at the house with the kids, and we enjoy it.
Sure, it's good, clean family fun.
And I mean, when you got the Kill 'Em All album,
you got Kill 'Em All,
right? You got all the
four important, the significant
up
ones.
until Justice for All. And
Kill
you
'em
got
all
each
through
album
Justice,
cover, and they look really great, by the way. And I would love to do that puzzle. I really would.
So, I keep
Kill 'Em All looks really great.
No, they all do actually. The puppets one looks really killer. They all do. I keep finding these little stories about like metal merch. And I'm not talking like merch, like
available
a t-shirt.
in September. I see Christmas presents coming.
September. Hey, my birthday's in September.
Yeah.
Hey, I just think it's funny, man. We look. I got like I got t-shirts, I got koozies. Occasionally you'll get like an armband or
right.
shit. But now they got like what we got action figures.
Yeah,
we got puzzles.
I still want that Slayer one.
Oh, dude,
cool.
Yeah, dude, I don't know why I haven't ordered that thing yet, dude. It's only like $20-$30. But yeah, but this is what we got now, in Metallica. And I mean, it occurred to me like you could make a point like if all the bands that's going to do something like that, it's got to be Metallica.
And I could really see like if this is even somewhat successful, many more will follow.
Oh, no doubt. Ever since I brought up the whole, figurine thing.
Yeah.
It was the Slayer. Now Danzig's got one.
Well,
Kiss. They've been having those.
Don't you think it's kind of following the generation like that? Like as we get older,
kinda,
yeah. They'll be like Rust in Peace walkers when we get older,
Dude, have you seen Mustaine lately, man? He's a geriatric old man.
yeah, well, he's got like throat cancer.
Got like throat
and shit now,
cancer. Yeah.
It's kind of sad because I've been
nuts.
watching some stuff with Dave Ellison, and like it's like, dude, just cut your hair, dude. It's just there's nothing left up there. Just get rid of it, dude.
I mean, some people just go. Well, some people rock the bald head like pretty well.
Yeah.
Rob Halford rocks that shit. He's been rocking that shit pretty well.
I could do it if I start to get. I'm getting a little bit thin, but not really. But
yeah,
if I've shaved my head before. I got the head for it. I can pull it off. Some people can't. They just got that potato sitting up there,
I got a funny shaped head. I shaved it. Remember that time on tour? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm not thinning anytime soon, so I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. Anyway, Metallica Jigsaw Puzzles.
That was really cool.
Into the archive. Here's a little bit of astronomy. Hubble uncovers a heavy metal exoplanet shaped like a football. Mm-hmm. I just thought the headline alone was pretty killer. But it's actually fairly interesting.
Heavy metal.
Heavy metal exoplanet. So, let's see. Heavy metals. What does this mean? How can I... So, this is a planet outside of our solar system. Orbiting a sun that is like way brighter, way hotter than our sun, all right? And so this planet is capturing a lot of heat. Venus is extremely hot.
Which I'm assuming adds to the football shape.
Adds to the football shape probably because of the, the gravitational pull. But also I think the more mass... a planet has, the rounder it'll get because it's got its own gravity to keep it more even. If it's got less mass, then it's more liable to kind of elongate, especially around its axis or around its equator. So as it revolves, it doesn't have to be. I mean, it's not going to go like that.
Right.
It's going to be longer. But anyway, so what's up with the heavy metal exoplanet? So apparently, let's see. Heavy metals, elements more massive than hydrogen and helium, which is stupid because that's pretty much everything that isn't hydrogen and helium.
Yeah.
But anyway, like really, really dense, really heavy metals. The thing gets so goddamn hot that the metals evaporate. So you've got this thing that is.
I'm thinking Mercury, maybe.
So it's like evaporating, it's hotter than Mercury. Because it's a planet that somehow is surviving.
I mean the metals.
Oh, the metals. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess Mercury is considered like a heavy metal. I'll throw a picture of the periodic table somewhere on the. But there's like a classification of like and Mercury is one of them. Lead, I think, is another one. Yeah. So yeah. Whatever, heavy metal exoplanet, and that I figured this was a nice sort of like intersection of fucking metal and astronomy. So, all right, dude. So since our last recording, we've had a number of national events that have taken national news.
Okay.
Mass shootings.
Yeah.
All right. There's been a few of them, unfortunately. And you remember when they had that dude from Louisiana?
Yeah.
Let me see. He was sort of like a loner, like played bass in a metal band or whatever, and they were trying to pin. So the guy from the Dayton shooting was in a porno grind band. Media jumps all over it.
Oh, God.
Are you familiar with this genre, by the way? This particular genre of like grindcore?
Not really. Well, yeah, kind of, sort of. Because I do think we just played with a band that was kind of, sort of there. But go ahead. It might be.
It's okay. So I'll tell you, it's bands like Gut and like Cock and Ball Torture.
Yeah.
So they're really into like gore and or just like sexual depravity and shit like that.
Gotcha.
And they tend to be not necessarily really fast, but just like tuned really low, really fucking heavy guitars. The vocals are almost always just as guttural as you can. Often they use like pitch shifters and shit like that, like without abandon. You know, they don't care that it's obviously pitch shifted. They just, they just sound like gurgling blood. And so apparently the shooter was according to BuzzFeed. This is their description of Pornogrind. Me. Pornogrind is a subgenre of a fast and extreme kind of heavy metal called grindcore, which is known for its mostly dark, satirical themes of sexual violence and gore delivered for shock value.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it
fail to see the connection with mass shootings, but
well, what they're saying is that this what the media is grabbing onto is that is connected with this guy who did the shooting having a violent
yes, because all of the mass shootings we have before were done by people in metal bands.
I think
this is probably the only one. There was that one fucker that did like the church burnings and wherever the fuck.
That's what it was. It was the church burner guy.
Yeah.
The dude in Louisiana. That's right.
And look, I don't really want to fucking get into this, but the mass shootings that fucking suck is a problem. It's a fucking issue, dude. And we seem to be like the only country that has that fucking problem. And then so you can easily make the case, well, fucking guns are legal, so, let's get rid of the fucking guns. But, I don't, it's a slippery slope, it's a mental health fucking issue, because I'm not going to go, if that's the case, then I'm going to go, I got 3 guns, okay? And none of them are high-powered automatics. I got 1 semi-automatic handgun, I got a revolver and a .22 rifle, okay? Definitely not weapons of mass destruction. Do I shoot them all the time? No, not really.
Yeah,
I did for a little while, and if that's the case, I shouldn't be here. I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna watch my guns. I'm gonna keep a good eye on them, make sure they don't kill anybody. The guns don't fucking kill people. Okay? Yeah, I understand that if you take the guns out of the equation, less people will die. I get it, and that's a way to
right.
What I think politicians and the media and everything, they're trying to look for a fast, easy resolution to this.
Yeah, totally.
They're trying to look for a fast, easy. Let's just fix this problem and get it over with.
Right.
It's not going to happen that way.
No, it's not.
It's a mental health issue.
Well,
and it's a slippery slope, and it's just a hard thing to try and contain, because it's like, okay, well, this is obviously happening from mentally ill people. Well, how do you identify all these mentally ill people? Of course, it's a lot easier now to do it with social media. You can kind of track these people and say, hey, this guy's saying this shit on fucking Facebook. Red flag. But still, just because you say that, you can't go just fucking...
civil liberties get thrown out the window at that point.
It's a back and forth. It's not an easy fix. It's never going to be an easy fix.
I'll go you one further, man. I don't think it even really is a mental health issue, because I don't think many of these shooters are necessarily mentally ill or diagnosable. I think it's diagnosable. You know what I mean? And it just kind of bothers me as a mental health professional how every time mental health comes up in the news, it either has to do with people committing crimes,
right,
or people who require hospitalization.
Yeah,
and the overwhelming majority of people who I've ever worked for committed no crime. And never did any time in a hospital. Because
we were having this conversation at work, and that's exactly what my point was. It's like, okay, you got somebody that's a little thrown off. You can't go after them and be, have they ever hurt anybody before? No.
Probably not.
Have they ever fucking done anything really, illegal or whatever. You know, probably not. Maybe a misdemeanor here or there, but nothing. So it's just it's never going to be an easy solution. You can't just say, okay, well, let's just do this and that'll fix it.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
And if you look at the backgrounds I mean, I'm speculating here, so don't take me too seriously. But I mean, I would say that if you look at the backgrounds, the criminal history backgrounds of all of these people who have made the news recently, I would venture to guess 50% of them have a prior record of anything ranging from like harassment to reckless driving, maybe even to like petty theft or something. It could have even been violent crimes. But there's also tons of people who have the same kind of rap sheets who don't go out and kill a whole bunch of people in a public place.
And I guess that's the whole moral of the story, and we're going to get off of this.
All right.
But, it's depends on what kind of media dick you want to swallow.
Yeah.
Guys, it really is. If you want to swallow that media dick all the way down to the fucking cock, to the balls, then go ahead. But, how many cases out there where legal citizens stop it or these police officers that do heroic, great community service things.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't make the fucking news, does it? But this shit does. And it's an unfortunate thing. And you got to take all the information you get from the media with a grain of salt.
I know.
And you got to decipher it for yourself, and you got to make your own fucking decisions.
Yeah.
I implore you, don't take what the fucking media says and just,
yeah.
got it.
Sensationalism, man. At the end of the day, they're really
look at
selling a
do
product.
your own research. Look into it if it's important to you. Look into it and do your own research and make your own conclusions about it.
That's right.
Now, let's get the fuck off of this. I don't know.
All right, here we go. On the bright side.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if there's a bright side. Nah, this is a good story. It's a feel-good story, Troy.
Okay, good.
Danny Trejo, actor Danny Trejo, which we've mentioned before. He's a guy in the Slayer videos, Machete.
Oh, yeah.
Danny Trejo.
Big, ugly fucking guy.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome, though.
Machete.
Yeah, Machete. Actor Danny Trejo comes to aid of a baby that was trapped in an overturned car.
I did see this, yeah.
Dude's a fucking hero, man.
Fucking right.
He witnesses this is an SUV just completely overturned. It was flipped over. Shit. This could have been in Carrollton. No? This took place in L.A.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, dude fucking saved a baby. The only thing that saved the little kid was his car seat, Trejo told a photographer on the scene. Dude's humble, man.
Well, good job, Machete.
That. Yeah, well done, Machete. Thank you for not chopping the child into pieces.
he had a commercial. God, I'm thinking of it, and I'm probably gonna fuck it up.
I think I know what you're talking about. He's behind the counter.
Yeah, it was like he was like a barista. Yeah. It's like for like Sling TV or something.
I don't know.
Some kind of commercial, whatever it was. And God, what did he say? It was something. The girl was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to look it up.
You mentioned this before in this show, and I went and I looked it up. It had something to do with she was something written in the coffee.
Yeah.
And oh man, I don't know. I'd have to reference the. But I looked at the commercial. They have a few of them on like YouTube or whatever, featuring him just like doing different shit.
May I please have a double shot half almond milk latte with 2 half pumps of caramel, a light dusting of cinnamon. Oh, in the foam. Can you put a heart?
A broken one.
How'd you know?
If you can get picky with your coffee, why not get picky with your TV? Introducing a la carte TV, only from Sling.
All right.
That was it.
Yeah,
Could you in the foam? Could you put a heart? A broken one.
A broken one.
How'd you know?
God
But anyway, good for you,
Danny
Trejo.
Oh.
Great job.
Well done, Danny. I love this. Archaeologists find a Viking drinking hall on an island off the coast of Scotland.
Fucking A. Don't I have glasses here? I do.
Oh,
and
God.
I have whiskey here. Well, fucking right.
Whiskey or mead? A large Norse drinking hall was discovered on an island of Scotland, archaeologists say, and is believed to have been used by a Viking chieftain named Earl Sigurd way
To
back in
whore
the
around
12th
and-
century.
To get drunk and whore around with the bitches.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women.
Bring me my mead, wench.
God, and this is a perfectly metal story too, man. Because Viking metal for one thing, but there's something about the fucking the probably extremely exaggerated, but nonetheless Viking lifestyle that is just so goddamn metal. According to the UHI Archaeology Institute, the name Skaill, Skaill, suggests the site was once a popular Norse drinking hall, a mead hall, and a location for high-status community members to gather and kick back. You never, quote, you never know, but perhaps Earl Sigurd himself sat on one of the stone benches inside the hall. Okay. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Yeah, so fucking Viking. Yeah, like I was saying, have you ever drank a flagon of anything? Have you tried mead before?
Yes, I have.
All right.
I have. And I'll tell you where it was. It was at the Renaissance Festival. Oh. And it was one of my fondest memories because I had a horn, I don't even know what fucking animal it's from. Bullhorn.
A sheep, a
horn.
goat.
A
Horn of a
mead.
goat.
And I was sitting on a tree trunk with a turkey leg, drinking a horn of mead, watching two men joust. It was glorious. it was one of my fondest memories. It was really great.
That does sound like a fond memory, by definition. And that's what I'm wondering though. What is it about? Something about like the medieval, the Viking, the sort of like anywhere that's like sort of post-medieval, but like before the Enlightenment period, that just seems like so fucking metal.
Well,
You know
I'll
what I
tell you a
mean?
little bit about that.
And I don't know why, but there's something about.
And, feel free to stir that with the appendage of your choice.
Hey. All right.
So, that's the Viking.
Thank you, by the way.
It's a real thing. The Vikings.
The Vikings.
Valhalla.
For a long time, and I used to watch this years and years ago, and it's still going on the strongman competitions. You're probably familiar with it.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, the shirling and the fucking.
Yeah. Well, there's always
Boat
been
lifting.
a heavy Icelandic, Iceland, Finland, Sweden,
Those really
Norway.
cold places. Yeah.
Well, presence and champions for that, and even and everybody knows Hafthor Bjornsson, the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. All right.
And
all right.
Magnus for Magnuson, Samuel Magnuson, all the Magnusons.
Pretty
were
much.
strongman
If
champions.
your name is Magnuson, you're kind of.
Yeah. And even the women too, the Sigmund's daughter and Thor's daughter, all the daughters, Samuel daughter, Dottir, in the CrossFit, they're top of the game, and
Okay.
it's Viking DNA is what it is.
Jeez.
And that's actually Joe Rogan kind of talked about this a little bit. It's fucking Viking DNA. These are huge, fucking incredibly strong people. And they trace their roots right back to fucking Vikings. They're big, over 6 foot, fucking huge, strong motherfuckers. And that's
You know,
Viking
that's interesting.
DNA 100%.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to that. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and just knock this out of the way, just because it's part of the story, part of my, news feed, and I want to just. So fucking James Hetfield went on record as defending the production of And Justice for All.
Still trying to do that, huh, buddy?
We wanted to make we wanted the best sounding record. I just wanted to mention this because, I mean, this is something that we brought up before.
Yeah.
We'll mention it again. And we've talked about that mixer who made the comment about, like, Lars coming in and saying, yeah, turn the bass even further down. So, I don't know, man. Conflicting reports. According to him, though, they were saying that after coming off a tour and playing shows and stuff, their ears were just, like, fried. And they just couldn't perceive. Now, you'd think a good audio engineer would maybe say something about that, give them breaks and stuff like that.
Be that as it may, and that kind of makes a little bit of sense to me.
It makes sense to me,
I mean,
too.
it does sound like a cop-out, and it really does.
Yeah.
But it does make a little bit of sense to me because in the fact that ego will blind you, if you got a pretty renowned engineer, producer in your studio.
Fleming Rasmussen at the time, who was there for Justice.
And there was another guy too, though.
Oh, maybe, man. I mean,
it wasn't Fleming. Well, there might have been a couple of producers, but I forget his name. I could look it up, but there was another guy too. It wasn't Fleming.
Okay.
And he mixed it because they didn't go with his mix.
Okay.
He mixed it the way he heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And Metallica didn't want it, and they bucked him on it.
It might have been Thompson.
It was probably him, yeah.
Yeah. Steve Thompson.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, he was one of the mixers.
Yeah. And he mixed it the way he heard it and presented it to him, and they didn't like it. And, given that, I mean, maybe looking back in hindsight, well, maybe our ears were fried from coming off a tour, which sounds like a cop-out to me. But if you got somebody like Steve Thompson and you're fucking saying, hey, dude, this is the way I fucking hear it, and this is the way ultimately you're the artist and you have the final say. But, I mean, if you got more than one person or even somebody like that telling you something, you should probably listen.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit. And then I think you got Kirk coming in, giving a different story, basically saying that the bass kept interfering with the guitar sound that James wanted. I don't know, whatever. Bunch of bullshit.
I find that extremely bullshit, too, because typically, mostly, and especially for that album and for what they've always done, really, it was a little bit different with Cliff because he had, some fuzz and some distortion on his sound a little bit, too. But Jason Newsted never did. It was a clean bass sound. And I'm sure there was a direct signal, and they could have manipulated that bass sound any way they wanted to. It's I'm a bass player. I record. It's very easily done. Once I put the direct signal in, you rarely even record bass with your amplifier and your speakers. You don't.
Yeah.
You typically, if you just got a tone that you like, and it's kind of a clean bass tone, you just go direct into the board, and you can. Well, it needs to be bassier. No problem. Make it a little bit more ingy. Okay, I can boast 1K. And I can give you what you want. So the bass sound interfering, that sounds.
I think.
And let me do this.
I think he had a little bit of a snarl to his sound.
And that's fine. Do this.
Whatever.
Do this favor for me. Go on YouTube and go under. I got it under my subscription. I subscribe to it. It's bass. Let me get it right. Oh shit, maybe I didn't subscribe to it.
Uh-oh.
Anyway. It's not bass gear. It should come up in my thing somewhere. The bass channel, I believe it is.
Okay.
There it is. The bass channel.
No.
Mark Dubois is one of the guys on there. There's like 3 guys that do a lot of stuff on there. If you're a bass player, subscribe to the bass channel. They got a lot of really good stuff. They review gear and all that stuff. Well, Mark Dubois does the entire And Justice for All album with a Warwick going through the microtubes, 900V and the 410s. Fucking fabulous. The tone. It's a very ingy, trebly, poppy tone. And I'm telling you, listen to his tracks on that. It's fucking fabulous. The tone he gets is incredible. He plays the entire Injustice for All album.
Sure.
And
All
the
right.
bass is kind of up front, and it's fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen to that, and it'll blow you away. I'm not even going to attempt to play it because I know YouTube is going to have a problem with that.
All right.
They're going to recognize that right away.
Fair enough.
But go to the bass channel and look at Mark Dubois. Subscribe to it, and it'll come up. He does the entire Injustice for All album.
Yeah, not only that, but there have been several sort of like amateur hobbyists who have done remixes with the bass.
They have, and I've listened to it.
Yeah.
But this is not what that is, and this is a lot different. And this is way better. It's not. He's doing his own bass track. It's not trying to boost the bass or whatever. He's playing his own bass track.
A lot of that's been done too.
To the album, but I've never heard it done like this, and it is fucking incredible.
I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out.
It takes a whole new spin on the album. Mark Dubois is an incredible bass player, by the way, and it's incredible.
Fucking right.
Check that out. That is good.
All right, dude. I was gonna do that. I was gonna just fuck this. I'm gonna record my own bass,
Right.
just to fucking do it. All right. So let's get back to the genetics thing. And to kick this off a little bit, because we just love the genetics.
Yes, we do.
Ozzy Osbourne is a genetic mutant, DNA research proves. And this is something that came out of a book, Pleased to Meet Me, Genes, Germs, and the Curious Forces That Make Us Who We Are,
And
by
right
Bill
off the
Sullivan.
Bat, that's not... Okay.
Yeah, but apparently he was actually selected...
Hang on a minute. Isn't that fabulous?
I didn't even comment. I've been really enjoying this. Yeah.
Wow.
No, is this Angostura that you threw
That's
in there?
Angostura with a little bit of club soda
Club soda.
and the Angostura bitters on top.
Outstanding.
God, that's just delicious.
This makes for, you know what? The Vikings would appreciate this.
They really
I
would.
think they would. This is a manly drink, Troy. Anyway, so yeah, I remember hearing about this a couple of years ago.
Really?
It was speculated, but now it's been genetically proven. Ozzy Osbourne is a genetic mutant. He has a mutation in his genes.
Which isn't incredibly uncommon, by the way.
They discovered a never before seen
By the way.
mutation that may explain Osbourne's ability to consume alcohol in great quantities and severe genetic variations that predisposed him to drug and alcohol dependencies. So apparently he's genetically predisposed to not only just fucking love to party, but to be able to tolerate it and live to the age that he is at now.
Like I said, that's not incredibly uncommon. Not like you would think, oh, he's a mutant. But I've met actually two people.
Uh-huh.
Well, one that I remember very well.
Uh-huh.
He was just kind of loser drunk guy, but he was whatever some reason he was either he slowly built up a tolerance, which I doubt, but his body was just resistant to electricity. And I've done a ton of electrical work and a lot of AC work, and 80% of AC work is electrical.
Yeah.
I saw full electricity all the time. I've been shocked a few times. I've been electrocuted once really good by 220. Direct hit by 220, and that fucking, let me tell you something, that's an experience. It fucking hurts, okay? I never got hit with 480 because I would have damage if I did.
Yeah.
But
No, but this is before you started being able to see through things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Or
this guy
after, I
would
should
do is like a motor, for a motor, like your AC compressor, you have a contactor, which basically it's controlled by low voltage, like your thermostat, and it is a set of contacts that sits out here and a coil here. And then you have your line voltage coming from your breaker, which is 220 volts. And when it calls for your compressor, the coil energizes and sucks in the contacts and makes the contact and makes the electricity go through the contact and into your compressor to turn it on. That's how it works. So he could take on the line side where the voltage is just sitting there, 220, just sitting there. He go, lick his fingers and go, it's hot. I'm like, what the fuck did you just do? And I pulled my meter. I'm like, you fucking right inside. and so he didn't feel the shock, and he didn't get his body didn't revolt.
Convulse or
so
jolt.
what
or,
he did,
yeah.
and what I can imagine is what he did, because I've been shocked by 110, and I've been shocked by 24 volts. And 24 volts is, we kind of did that in school with a transformer, and you take a 24 volts and you shock yourself. Mm-hmm. And 24 volts is very, it you know, you're not really ready for it, but it just got, ooh. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then you, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. It's not, you know, it doesn't really hurt. But what it is it's AC voltage, and it travels in 60 cycles per second. So what it feels like, it's a vibration. It's like, brrr. And what that is that's the actual 60 cycles is what you're feeling. Mm-hmm. So what I imagine what he's doing is, when he feels it, he's feeling the vibration of the 60 cycles per second. But he's not getting electrocuted or shocked for whatever reason. And,
oh, man.
You know,
all right.
you see all the Ripley, the Guinness Book of World Records, and this dude that can eat fucking metal and shit, and people that can fucking, you know, light up a light bulb and shit and stick it in their ear and stuff.
Yeah.
And all of those are small little genetic mutations that allows them to do that. So that's why that's, you know, that's not completely shocking. That, you know,
what's his name?
Ozzy Osbourne's a mutant. But I mean, and it's really more common than what you think. A lot of people have these small little genetic mutations.
Well, this guy, Will Huff or something like that, his name is. He's this dude who's able to, he kind of harness, it's not here, but I'm trying to think. He developed like a breathing meditation technique that allows him. He's the guy who like can go into, like, take all his clothes off, go into an ice bath in the fucking North Pole, and just like chill. And he's okay. He's completely okay. And his temperature, his body temperature, doesn't really significantly drop, and he's never in any danger. And he says, well, I mean, he says it's because of a technique. But we're talking about genetics.
I've known of some people that actually train themselves. You can train yourself to do that.
Well, that's kind of wild.
Well, because, I mean, well, you know, let's face it, we're the most adaptable.
Okay, yeah.
We can adapt
true.
to anything. But
I don't like the cold, so I'm not going to adapt anytime soon.
You know, even athletes, you can even take it as far as athletes.
Oh, yeah.
You got some people that got that incredible small fast twitch muscle fibers that other people just do not have. Mm-hmm. And you can look at that. I mean, I don't know if that would be considered necessarily a form of genetic mutation, but it's absolutely genetic.
Well, all right, so
you have small fast twitch muscle fibers and I don't. That's, you know, I can't get them because I don't have them. You got them.
So the reason that Scandinavian, this is from that same article about Ozzy, from New York Post, by the way. The reason that Scandinavian people are often singled out as the happiest people on Earth may be as much about genes as lifestyle. So Bristol University researcher looked at the DNA of people from 30 countries and found that the Danes and the Dutch had the fewest instances of carrying a serotonin receptor gene that's being linked to depression.
Ooh, Danish girls.
So they have like a reduced predilection for just, you know, feeling sad at any given time. And the article goes on and on about talking about different patterns and tendencies among, different populations for having these things. Now, what you said about athletes, what interests me is that so like gene expression can be pretty cool in the way that, it affects like our mood and our ability to fucking withstand drugs and electricity even, and shit like that. And I'm interested in reading about and learning about how it goes the other way around, about how your genes can actually change what did they call that? Epigenetics might be the right word. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's not the right thing. But I mean,
What was it again?
epigenetics, I think that has more to do with like epidemiology
Oh.
as it relates to genetics. But basically, if you live under a certain condition for long enough, your genes will change.
Oh, sure.
You know,
Sure.
your genetic code will fucking shift.
Well, sure.
And-
Well, yeah. I mean, that's, why do we have different races?
Well, and so that's the thing. And how does that shit like actually? But the thing is that not talking about like shift over time. I'm talking about like one person.
Oh,
Like in the course of one person's lifetime, that one person actually being able to shift their own genetic structure in response to something that's environmental.
that's interesting.
Yeah. That's something that's not really. I mean, there's like, as far as I know, not a whole lot of research to demonstrate that
Well, like
works.
like you could take it with music. Like, if your dad played music when he was a kid and was real into music, because I've seen this before, and people, it's like they could, and then their dad was big into music, and he kind of passed that gene down.
Okay.
And nobody was in music before. He learned all the music himself. Mm-hmm. And then his son would, kind of learn guitar or whatever, and he could listen to the radio and be like, oh, okay. And figure it out pretty quick.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Because nobody in my family could play a fucking wash tub. Okay, I even attempted to before me. I'm the first one. Mm-hmm. So I was never passed down that kind of precursor, I guess. So I'm not gifted with that ability to just listen. Huh. Oh, there it is.
Right.
Other people who are, and that might have just happened at one time. That one generation.
It makes me wonder. I'm thinking about my own family because my brother played music. He played in band. Like he played trumpet. He played bass guitar a little bit, I think. My sister doesn't play, but she's definitely really into music.
Yeah, but
like
that wouldn't have had any impact on you.
No. I'm just saying, like we share that, but then neither of my parents play instrument. But my dad was a bit of a music snob. I will say that he had a bit of an ear for it, and he was critical. But I don't. As far as I know, I don't think anybody in my family really played any instruments either.
Yeah.
But what about your kids? Now that's what I'm kind of curious about. If they have any. If Izzy or Abel have like any.
Able has definitely showed some interest.
I remember you had the kit.
The little drum kit, got it up there. He kind of filled around with the guitar for a little bit in the little band class over there, but
Okay.
He's just turned 9.
Right.
But and I haven't really pushed it on him because he's a little athlete and he's playing baseball.
Yeah.
I'm doing real well with that, but. He's shown a little interest in it, but nothing like, oh, you got a little knack for that. Not really.
Gotcha.
Not really. Because, like, the weird thing happened with art in our family. Nobody could fucking barely draw a stick figure. But for some reason, me and my brother, we could fucking draw.
Yeah.
And don't know where the fuck that came from. Have no idea. Mm-hmm. Because, and I remember when I was real young, because when we was in school, and we just started, I forget what grade it was. It might have been 2nd grade or 1st grade or whatever. And we had a little art class. And, hey, we're going to draw a horse. And everybody would do the stick figure horse. The long oval. And then the stick legs.
Yeah.
And then the head and the oval, whatever. Well, I didn't. And for some reason, I remember I was the only one in that class that I didn't draw a horse like that. Mm-hmm. I drew a horse with the arched back and with the long head, and I actually drew out the legs. Kind of like that.
Kind of like a horse.
kind of like a real horse. And I don't know why I decided to do that, but I remember, the art teacher and other kids remarked, like, well, how do you do, oh, man. And I'm like, I don't know, that's a horse. It's not a fucking stick. He doesn't have stick legs. He has legs like this.
Right, it doesn't look like that. It looks
just
more
drew it like that. I don't know why. My mom and dad are, as far as my knowledge, nobody in my family before me ever had any type of art talent.
any kind of artistic
And now
talent.
my older brother was way better than me.
One thing I can kind of relate, even though I'm not much of a visual artist, but I can't help but wonder if, because what you said, what you showed me just now kind of resonated with me, because I would have done the same thing as a kid. I would have been like, yeah, but that doesn't really look like that doesn't look like it actually looks like that. And I would do my best to reproduce, because it's three-dimensional. And don't you notice that they're doing more like representative art, and I'm trying to be exact. And then I'm thinking about it. I think we're kind of like that musically, because we have to be really discriminatory. You have to really discriminate things, because if you're off, you're out of tune. You have to be able to say, well, that's not a fucking C. It's a B. It's a B. That's a B. It's a B flat. You're fucking way off. You're out of tune. Because if you're inaccurate, at least when it comes to the notes combining with other notes, creating a harmony, it's either disharmonic or it's dissonant.
And that's kind of something else too, because going with the music thing, we've always been in original bands. We've never been in cover bands.
That's true. That's
We've
true.
never did.
We've done cover songs, but I mean that's not.
But as far as learning music and stuff, we never did the stick figure music.
Right.
We always did our own thing. Mm-hmm. And because there's a guy at work, he's in Redline, which is a popular cover band in the area.
All right.
And they do very well. Mm-hmm. But he's always done cover songs. He's done a few originals, but that's his thing.
Okay.
And when he first came over, it's like, oh yeah, man, Troy plays music too. I'm like, I didn't even want to get into it with him, because it's a completely different world of what he does and what I do.
Right.
And he's like, well, yeah, man, you don't know that, man, you know you're a bass player, right? Yeah, I've been playing bass for 20 years. Well, yeah, you know how Brown Eyed Girl starts out. I'm like, no,
right.
I don't.
Right.
I've never played that song. I if you would even tell me to go figure it out, it would take me a while. I've never learned it. I had no desire to ever learn it. Mm-hmm. And I know a riff of shit here and there, but I've never learned a complete work, really, of another artist's song.
Yep.
That's just not what we did.
Yep.
We always, in the very beginning, we learned some Sepultura and some stuff like that.
Right.
We went straight to original stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's just what we've always done.
I'm the same way. I can't stand it when, you play guitar. Here, you take this guitar, now play me a song. I can't. Why not?
Right.
I don't know any.
I don't know any. I don't.
I can noodle around forever,
I've been
dude.
Playing bass for 20 years, and I can't play you any.
There's one song I can play. For whatever reason, I really wanted to learn how to play. What a Wonderful World. Satchmo, Louis Armstrong, and I know how to play the chords, the chords on guitar. That's the only song I could probably sit down and play. I could maybe, if I really think practice and listen to it again, I could play a whole bunch of Rotten Anatomy and Rat in the Bucket songs. But
right. I could pull you off the songs that I wrote.
Yeah.
Which you don't know.
There's probably a few exceptions. I could probably bust out Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones, because it's just one riff anyway.
Right.
So you can kind of fucking, that might sound like a cop out, but yeah, I can kind of.
Yeah, I could whip out Wild Nights, dudes. Do. But that might be something you might recognize. I don't know. But
no, I'm totally with you. On point, dude. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Is it genetic, or is it?
Who knows?
Who the hell knows, dude?
But there's whiskey in the glasso.
Yes, there's Whiskey-O in the Glassio. Is that going to stain, I wonder?
Who cares?
So yeah, Ozzy Osbourne is he's a
He's a mutant.
he's a mutant, man. He belongs in the
God bless him.
yeah. He belongs with fucking Professor X with all the other
That's a
fucking...
superpower.
I can shake anybody under the table.
I can take way more drugs than you and still live.
Exactly. Dude, I mean, everybody else fucking dropping, eventually dropping like flies. I'm curious to see if he outlives, I mean, some of our metal fucking, heroes. I mean, we're getting to that age, dude, where it's going to happen more and more. When Lemmy fucking died, dude, that was like kind of an eye-opener.
Yeah, I remember that because like a week or two later, with Capsizer, we played at Siberia, and we played a little bit of Gas Patron. We played like 2 verses of a Gas Patron.
Yes, I think I was there for that too. And you might have done it before or since, but I definitely heard you play that. Yep. There was a news anchor who died today.
In a plane crash.
In a plane crash, of all the fucking weirdest things. What was her name from Channel 8?
Collins?
Collins.
Somebody was just talking about it.
Shit, what was her... I don't think it was Collins. Maybe it was Collins. What was her name? Dude, it was the weirdest thing. She was like 50-something. She married 3 kids.
Nancy Parker.
Nancy Parker. Channel 8. Nancy Parker.
Yeah, Channel 8.
A little plane out of like the lakefront airport.
Yeah. I was a little confused about that because Dale Earnhardt Jr. was just in a plane crash and everybody was okay.
Yeah.
But I think that was just his little private plane or something. Or
I'm not sure. I
don't know.
Too many
but
details
so that was
about that.
I'm like, well, was that the same one that Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in? But apparently it wasn't.
No. This just happened today.
Yeah.
Like just a few hours ago.
And this was a major airline, or was it just
No. Dude, this is a private plane.
Oh,
this is a small, like, from what I read, I don't understand this. It was a stunt plane. It was like one of those small planes that flies out of like the lakefront airport out in the east.
Yeah, because see, look,
it was on.
there's Nancy Parker.
Yeah.
Look, right next to it, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s plane bounced multiple times, went off the runway.
Well, Nancy Parker didn't bounce it multiple times.
Well, maybe she did, but she didn't live.
Oh.
Was she the only one that died?
Well, the pilot.
Okay.
Dude, I mean, it was smoldering, burning wreckage. Like
It almost looks like a little biplane.
that's what I'm saying. It was like a small plane.
Okay. Yeah, it was a prop biplane.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like a Snoopy and a Red Baron.
Yeah, like a World War One fighter plane.
That's what it was. Okay, so it was just her and the pilot.
From what I gathered,
She was probably on there for some.
she was doing a story,
Oh wow!
probably like on stunt planes or some
Wow, she's
crazy
doing a
shit.
Story. Wow. Fuck.
That's what I gathered, but I can't confirm this. All right, so but that's kind of the story that I'm putting together based on what I've read so far. And this is just the weirdest fucking thing, dude. Because I mean, she's a news anchor who does shit like every morning on Channel 8 here in New Orleans. And then I just hear that she's dead. I heard there's a plane crash, and then I found out Nancy Parker was on the plane and she's dead. It's just a strange story, man. And goddamn. Damn you, summer of 2019. You have killed more New Orleanians than any other year in my lifetime, okay? So with this year, we've lost Leah Chase, Dr. John, what's his name? Montgomery, not Batiste, Neville, Art Neville. Now Nancy Parker. Shit, somebody else who was like not too long ago. Dude, it's fucking nuts, man. All these like fucking local people are just like dropping like flies, and it's not even, it's not the heat, and it's not the hurricanes. It's just fucking something.
Shit happens.
Shit happening, man. Could be worse. Could be a city killer.
Could be a city killer.
Yeah. So I say we are about to go ahead and wrap this shit up.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. So be careful, New Orleans. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention it, but I didn't even wear their shirt tonight. But fucking Clitorati, hell yeah. Went and saw them last night. I'll end on this note rather than say everybody's dying in New Orleans.
Right.
We'll end on a positive note. Last night, whatever it was, the 15th of August, went and saw, I don't even remember the opening band. It was a punk band. They sounded good. Then there was Clitorati and then Fat Stupid Ugly People. So a couple friends, when I was living over in Portland, a couple friends from Portland, they're in them a band. So so Melissa and Warrior, it was fucking like just hardcore, crusty punk shit. Dude,
Yeah.
they fucking tore it up. They played last night at Poor Boys over on St. Bernard.
What'd you think about that place?
It was, I mean, it's kind of like Treme neighborhood, whatever. I found a parking spot right in front of it.
Oh, that's lucky.
Well, I got there before like anybody else. I went there and like Carl was there and Warrior, who plays bass, was there, and the bartender, that was it. And then people came in. They
The
had,
little
they had a
area
fair
outside
turnout.
on the side, that's nice.
The outside, I didn't even go out there.
Oh, yeah, it's a
bunch
nice-
of people
it's a
in
nice
between
little
bands.
area.
They were going out there. It was a good sized space too. Yeah. Tiny little stage area.
It's just a really shitty location. And like when Fawns plays there, we don't use the stage. We set up on the wall to the left.
That's
on the
where
floor.
everybody's set up. Oh, that stage is like what, 5 by 8?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
This is absolutely pointless for anybody to try to go up there.
Yeah. They
Might
should-
be enough room for a drum.
They should just take it down and open the
pretty
space
much,
up.
pretty much,
It's-
yeah. Somebody thought it would be a great idea to bring a cake to the show, and somebody else thought it would be a great idea to make the cake go all over everybody.
Oh well, of course.
So there was cake, but I didn't get a chance to eat any of it. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah,
It was
that's where we played with Christworm.
Christworm.
And that was incredible. Mm-hmm. Because there's really simple stuff, like they had like these really intense fog machines, like you can imagine in there.
Okay. Oh my
And
god.
then like
Yeah.
he had like a little foot switch on this big halogen light that shone up from the floor.
Oh shit.
And so when he hit it on, it was all reflecting off all the smoke. And then certain parts of the song, he would kill it
Interesting.
and turn it off.
Huh.
And it was just cool.
Where are they from?
Oh, fuck, I don't... No, they're from
around
Baton
here.
Rouge.
I was about to say Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
Okay. Christworm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a drummer and a guitar player, and the drummer sang.
Oh, okay. So 2-piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they would do the shit with the fog and the lights. It was cool, man.
Yeah.
It's little simple stuff, but the way they did it made for a really cool aesthetic to the show.
Fucking right. Okay. Well, anyway, last night I just got to give it up to Clitorati, which is a portmanteau of the Illuminati and the clitoris.
Both are very mysterious.
Both are completely mysterious.
And have baffled men for ages.
Bafflement. Yeah, and completely hidden from our awareness.
Yes. Can't find it. don't
Can't
know where
find
it.
it.
Is.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, 4-piece. Just like fucking hardcore. What term did I use when I was texting you about it? I called it like cunt punk. They're
Cunt
sort
punk, yeah.
they're sort of like well, I mean, it's like punk, you know. So it's like it's got a lot of like feminist ideology behind it and shit. And you know, they're I don't know. I had that T-shirt. Their artwork pretty much doesn't hide any of that. But man, they fucking sounded super intense. Like they were fucking on point. Sounded really good. Melissa and Warrior and Amy. I had just met the singer, and I didn't meet the drummer.
So good old real punk.
Good old fucking just hardcore, just
Good.
fucking thrashing it up and just kicking
Which
it.
is the punk I like.
And tonight, probably as we speak, or pretty soon, they are playing in Houston with Shit Stormtrooper,
Okay.
which is a grindcore band with their new guitarist, Renee fucking Perez from Fleshpool. So, Clitterati and Shit Stormtrooper have a fucking blast over in Houston, and I hope the show goes well.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Keep your identity.